Story 1. I can hardly write this out, but I need to talk to someone. I don't yet feel comfortable talking to anyone IRL because the entire situation is so surreal. It all happened earlier today. To begin with, my wife, 37, and I have been married for 13 years, and been together for another 1 to 2 years before that. So we go back quite a bit. Our entire marriage has been great, or so I thought. Great compatibility. Great says, every other day at least. 2 kids. It had all been great until today. First of all, my wife and I don't have an open phone policy. Many years ago we discussed it and she wanted her privacy. And I understood, as I value privacy too. So neither of us have access to the other's phone, nor have I ever wanted access to her phone. I've never suspected her of anything at all. However, earlier today she accidentally left her phone open as she had to quickly run to attend an errand. I needed to search something up on Safari at the moment, and since my phone was on the upper level of the house I decided to use her phone to search it up. As I was doing so, I saw a notification pop up on her phone from my brother, 23. I was very surprised because I hardly ever talk to my brother myself. The last time I talked to him was 7 months ago. So, out of pure curiosity, I opened the message. He had messaged her a picture of his pee captioned, word for word, "Missing it baby, kissing face. How about next weekend again?" And yes, it was really him. He has a unique birthmark near his belly button which was clearly visible in the picture. I was completely lost. I thought I was dreaming. This made absolutely no sense to me. First of all, her cheating made absolutely no sense. I never suspected her of cheating. I couldn't even imagine she would cheat. After all, as I said above, our marriage has been great, or, at least, up until this point. So her cheating was already a huge shocker to me. But, over top of that, cheating with my brother who is 12 years younger than me and 14 years younger than her? That was a shocker on top of a shocker. I just couldn't even begin to process what I had just seen. I immediately threw her phone down. I didn't bother to scroll up to read the rest of the messages because I couldn't even process the recent messages I had just read, and left the house. I drove and drove for hours. And I just crashed at some hotel hours away from my house. My phone is still at home, so my wife has no way of contacting me. I haven't bothered contacting her yet either. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to even approach this. I just want to cry. I want to talk to someone, sweating face. I'm so sorry, brother. I can't even imagine your own blood doing this to you. I think this situation is completely unsalvageable. You need to cut them both out of your life, or the betrayal trauma, from 2 people, even, will make your life a living hell. Filing for divorce is the first step whether you want to divorce or reconcile. You need to punch her in the liver, figuratively, to get her out of the affair fog. Although I really don't recommend reconciliation here, we can figure it out as we go. You don't need to make a decision regarding her at the moment. Right now, your mental and physical health is the first priority. Start taking steps to get yourself stable, doctor's appointment, therapy, lawyer consult, and then you can figure how to go on. The element of surprise you have on your side is your most valuable ally. Don't tip her off that you know. If you can't go back home, make up something about a last-minute work trip, or a deceased in a close friend's family. As long as she doesn't know you know, you can get your ducks lined up safely and securely. She's a complete wild card at this moment. You don't know how the situation will escalate if she knows you know. A secret lawyer always trumps a secret affair. Read the following comments. The first one is your comprehensive divorce plan of action, the second one is your recovery list, and the third one is your reconciliation list. Your wife is never going to change her actions as long as you don't give consequences to her actions. The easiest way to get her out of the affair fog is to serve divorce papers. Divorce can be stopped anytime before final decree. Don't do the pick-me dance, she will never respect you and thus will never stop the affair. You have to be willing to lose your marriage to save it, and sometimes you might not even want to. She's your rebellious, unruly child and you're her doting but wishy-washy dad. You need to ground her. Excellent, comprehensive post. Nothing to add for OP except that if you eventually choose reconciliation, which I don't believe in personally anyway regardless of the circumstances, but here the circumstances are particularly egregious, you'll have to play that role for the rest of your relationship. You'll likely be hypervigilant for years. It's an exhausting way to live. On a more personal note, being cheated on is a lot like burying and grieving for a person who never existed. I'm sorry for your loss. People can be such utter fools sometimes. It's mystifying how they can either 1. Keep up a mask for years, even decades, and have you fooled the whole time, or 2. How good people can flip a switch and do such spectacularly horrible things to the person they love. I really don't get it. I'd rather it be option 1, I think option 2 is terrifying. In your case I think it's definitely number 1 though. The scale of the betrayal is beyond measure and I refuse to believe a good person could do anything remotely resembling this. Sorry for what you discovered. I've had a disturbing heartbreaking divorce because I discovered my wife had cheated. You will feel devastated but you have to embrace the feelings and not hide it in order to move on. You will have to make logical decisions based on what's best for your kids and your happiness. Your happiness is your responsibility and unfortunately your wife could never add to your happiness anymore. If you're spiritual, pray. If you need mental help support, contact a therapist and above all don't give up. Unfortunately you are going to have to face this, for the sake of your kids. I'm also sorry to say that you have got some hard times ahead. I was blindsided by my ex too, and thinking back on it there were so many red flags that I should have picked up on. But at the time you don't see them, because you give your everything to the person you love. You trust them beyond and above everything and everyone else. And then they pull the rug from under you. Men or women, it doesn't matter. You need to keep clear-headed. Try not to use hooch to calm your nerves, it won't work. Now is the time to be clinical. You need to start planning for life without your wife. The children, accommodation, money, extended family, friends. Remember that there is no shame on your part for your wife's infidelity, and it's not your secret to keep. You need to talk to someone. A friend or family member. And you should not feel obliged to protect your wife's good name. After all, she hasn't given two figs about you or your feelings, or your children and their feelings. You will want to know so much. How long it's been going on for, how long has she kept up the deception, and your brother too. The pain will be unbearable. But you can get through this. Focus on your kids, focus on your health, and focus on coming out the other side almost intact. And I would probably recommend in this instance looking up the 180. There is a lot of good support and information on the internet. When I found out about my wife I had no one, and did all the wrong things at the start. I was a mug. Then I sought support from sites on the internet and dug in and refused to be beaten. But the damage was already done and now. Well, I'm not the same person. Look, I'm here if you need to talk. But my opinions will be biased, and I'm not sure if that's what you need to hear at this stage. Kindest regards. You did the right thing, which was to get some space. I am so sorry you are going through this whole ordeal and it's heartbreaking and gut-wrenching. There is never an excuse to cheat, like never ever. When the time comes to confronting it, be brave for you and your kids. Any excuse she provides as to why she did what she did doesn't matter because she chose to betray you, but stepping outside your marriage and deal with it that way, that is her choice and fault. If you are thinking I could have been a lot better and done this and that, but from what you wrote everything seemed great. Your wife failed to communicate within her marriage and try to deal with it. Your brother is also to blame for partaking in this affair. You need time to plan and think what is your next step. I believe you should try and get enough information about the affair for your divorce proceedings if you decide to do that. The road is never easy, but you can make it past this. It just takes one step at a time and help. What a horrible situation. I am sorry for you, bro. Stay a few days in that hotel without letting anyone know where you are. Let your wife suffer. Maybe call your parents and explain them your situation and tell them to not tell your brother and wife anything. Prepare for divorce. Contact a divorce lawyer. You should have gathered proof of her cheating. You should have made some screenshots. When you get back home, kick her out of the house. If she refuses, then tell her you will divorce her. If she ever wants reconciliation, She has to leave. Worldwide comments of the day. This is simping at its finest. Even her friends told him he's a simp. She doesn't respect him and she's cheating for sure, and they're all laughing at him. Be a man and stop crying like a baby. Take action. 3 years, you have done enough. Now it's your time. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.